Here's my story, basically in a nutshell, of how I fell into the category of drug addict from taking benzos, which led me to agreeing to a taper and everything that's going on right now. So, in a nutshell, I was prescribed benzos about 5 years ago. I had the same doctor all those years, and I was taking the benzos, never had a problem, was never drug tested, never had any issues at all. Everything was fine, but I was prescribed them as needed. Um, so I would take them as needed. Well, what happened was is my insurance dropped the area where my doctor was, so I had to find a new doctor. After 4 months of searching, I found a new place that I won't mention. Well, there's probably people from all over you would know anyway. But they did telehealth, and I was really happy because I'm kind of poor, and it was like an hour's drive because I don't live in the city anymore, and there's not as many doctors that are available here. I live in kind of like a rural area. Um, and they were cool, and they actually gave me all my meds, and I'm on two controlled substances. So I was like really surprised, and everything went fine, everything went well. Then in August, apparently the pharmacy, CVS, prescribed my prescriptions too soon. And I do kind of remember it because being surprised that I got it, like, what the hell? Why is this here? But I don't know. Somehow, in a 3 month from that point in August, that they prescribed my sent out my benzo too early, I had, instead of following the instructions from this doctor who said to take it at night, in my mind, I had been taking it as needed for 5 years. So what happened is I went to 3 months later, I go to the pharmacy and I'm like, my benzo should be ready. And they're like, well, actually, you back in August we prescribed them too early, so you should have 12 extra pills. And I'm like, I don't. And they're like, well, either you lost them or you're abusing them. I'm like, I'm not abusing them. I'm not abusing them. I just take them as needed and never realized that when you do 12 in 3 months, that is 4 extra pills a month. So, and I would just break them in half because I was on 2 milligrams. So I never really paid attention. I just took them when I needed them. And that was that. I have histamine intolerance, I have different issues. So, I needed them. And they called my doctor's office, and my doctor's office started saying to me that I did some criminal act. They had some criminal virtue policy, and that I violated it, and that they were going to drop me from their practice. This is after I searched and searched and searched for a doctor, and there's like hardly anyone else around here. They were going to drop me from their practice unless I went to drug and alcohol counseling. So there I am in drug and alcohol counseling, maybe 2 weeks taper, literally trying not to throw up in the office, driving there, blurred vision with a barf bucket. So I could literally throw up while I was driving to try to go see some drug and alcohol counselor. Um, that was awful. Like I could barely sit through that appointment. And since I have the histamine issues, like their central heating system was bothering me, and they gave me asthma for like literally like 3 or 4 hours straight of an asthma attack. I was so sick. And they just had no compassion for me at all. Like, they didn't care. They were like, no, you're going to go to drug and alcohol counseling. And then to top it off, if anybody doesn't know this, Klonopin and Valium very frequently does not show up in a drug test. So they started testing me, and it kept coming up negative. And no matter what I would do, how much I tried, I would take it the night before, like as instructed, because I was so afraid to break the instructions. You know what I mean? Because they might drop me cold turkey and leave me hanging out, withdrawal and cold turkey, that I followed their instructions, and lo and behold, no matter what I did, it would come up negative. It would come up negative. And I'd be like, I'm taking it You know what I mean? Just as you instructed. People were telling me I'm in support groups to go down there to take it in front of them or go down there and show them and count my pills out to them. They were an hour away. So that, I mean, that would have been, I have a van, that would have been a lot in gas. And I did consider doing it. Um, but they were just convinced that I talked to my doctor and he's like, well, you tested negative before, so we're going to test you again. And if there's a problem if you test negative again. And I knew it. I mean, I got my results before they did. They tried to accuse me the last time of having my results late when they didn't realize that where I was getting my drug test done, it has to go to a central office and then get sent to them. They would call me and be like, you have 24 hours to get a drug test. And they did it on a Friday once. And I'm like, I mean, they gaslit me so bad. Their office staff, one office staff would tell me, they call me and they're like, if you ever take a benzo again, we're done with you. And I'm like, wait a minute, my doctor told me we're weaning off of them. And they're like, oh. I'm like, you guys don't even know what's going on. When I went for my drug test, they didn't even have the drug test there. The lab technician or the phlebotomist was like, there's no order here for you. I'm like, well, they're telling me I have to take it in 24 hours, or like I'm in deep shit. Like I bent over backwards and jumped hurdles so much for them to stay on this stupid drug, this stupid freaking benzo. As much as I miss it, I do not like being treated like a drug addict. I don't think that when you're on as needed and it's in your brain for 5 years that overtaking 4 pills in 1 month is a drug addict. But I guess, according to them, I am. I violated their criminal virtue policy. So I got put into the drug addict category, and that is where you don't want to be. Because if they, I don't know, if they put me on, every state can put you on a list where you can't receive controlled substances anymore, like Oxycontin or hydrocodone or anything like that. Like I don't want put on that list. Like I need dental work done, and that requires, like, usually the last time I got a tooth pulled, it required a hydrocodone. I don't want put on that list. I don't want to have to go through medical procedures in the future and not be able to receive an opiate painkiller if it's necessary because these people decided they were going to gaslight me and accuse me of being a drug addict, So yeah, I'm technically in the drug addict category, and they were going around filling out forms for me to go somewhere else. My therapist ghosted me in the last appointment. No one said goodbye. The doctor didn't say goodbye. The therapist didn't say goodbye. They ghosted me and sent me to this other place. So I'm stuck going and begging, like, another doctor that doesn't even know me, being like, okay, I'm on these controlled substances. If I don't know if I should ask him to wean. I don't know if I should stabilize. Like, I'm totally lost. I have absolutely no idea what to do at all. So I guess it's a life of a drug addict, never knowing, I got put into that category for 4 extra pills per month for 3 months because CVS messed up. It is what it is, but thanks for watching.